This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
Hey, only in the UP, right? The Upper Peninsula is hosting a contest for the ice on Teal Lake. Not about how thick it'll get, but when it'll break. And the person who correctly guesses when the ice cracks, letting all that mining equipment fall through the ice, will win some cash. You can purchase guesses for $5 a guess, and the winner gets half of the money raised, kind of like a 50-50 raffle. Last year's winner got $1,500 and guessed May 3rd. You never can tell, though, in West Michigan. That's the beauty of the contest, Anthony. And no advantages as a weather guy either, not here.
Hey, you know what? Our weather, obviously, it's been mild recently, Doug, but, the last time we ran that an hour ago, I guess I didn't pick up on the fact that that lake was in the Upper Peninsula. So, yes, obviously, the ice is going to have a better chance to be tougher, thicker, and it's going to be later in the season when you would get that crack. But here in West Michigan, as I've been mentioning, we've had pretty marginal temperatures for quite some time. I have seen a lot of photographs with the ice on the lake, so there's no doubt about that. But the thickness of that ice, I'd like to see the stats on it, because especially as we go forward over the next 7 to 14 days, the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a number of afternoons where we will be above normal, above the freezing mark, and in fact, perhaps well above the freezing mark by early next week. More on that to come. 26 degrees here at 7 o'clock. We'll level off in the middle 20s. I do think there is prospect for a few additional clouds to return. We broke up those clouds. Just partly cloudy at the current time. I haven't actually stepped outside recently, so I'll have to check that out. But definite breaks right now. More clouds, though, I think do assemble, at least for a stretch. Here late evening and early overnight. This is the snow map off the GFS through this coming Saturday. There's going to be two systems we have to deal with. One overnight tomorrow into early Wednesday morning, and then another on Friday. A lot of question marks with that one. I'll tell you what, it looks like the surrounding environment with that system on Friday is going to be certainly too mild, too warm to support a snowstorm around here. The question is it going to be cold enough at the surface to allow for some wintry precip in the form of freezing rain or sleet for a stretch? That is a possibility, so stay tuned on that one. We'll hone it down as we get closer. But this, later tomorrow night into early on Wednesday, it does look like we will be cold enough at a great enough depth here in Grand Rapids to pick up a few inches of snow. It's going to be more marginal down to the south, as there will be some milder air coming in. More on that to come. These are the highs, I should say. I was going to say daytime highs, but they were not. The daytime highs today were in the low to mid 30s. These were the highs taking into account ever since last night at midnight. We were at 41 degrees. So for this December 28th, the high temperature will go down in the record books as 41 degrees. But for all intents and purposes, for humans walking around, you experienced much cooler weather than that, with wind chills down around 20 degrees, because that's what we dealt with through the daytime stretch. Snow arrives later tomorrow night. What time am I talking about? 9, 10 o'clock and beyond. So the bulk of Tuesday will not be will not see problematic roadways around West Michigan. Biggest accumulation of the season? I think so here in Grand Rapids. As I mentioned, though, some milder air does try to come in pretty quickly overnight into Wednesday morning for our southern two rows of counties. So accumulations are going to be knocked down in that vicinity. Nothing going on right now. Had a couple flurries underneath a mostly cloudy sky to an overcast this morning. Then the clouds broke up as some high pressure is working in from the west. It's not completely clean high pressure. We're not talking about firm blue skies, but there will be a fair amount of sun tomorrow morning, filtered by increasing high-level clouds that will be blowing off the tops of this weather system down in the Four Corners. There's actually an extension of energy off into Canada, two weather disturbances that will kind of use their energy together to bring about this wide expanse of winter weather advisories in the purple, winter storm warnings in the pink. So even more inches of snow out to the west. But I think here, from Ottawa County to Kent and Ionia, this from the National Weather Service, but I think a pretty good representation of where the best snow amounts are going to be. Perhaps even northern Allegan over towards Eaton and or Barrie and Eaton. The trends on the models have been a little bit cooler with the profiles each and every passing run. So, it's conceivable we could actually see those winter weather advisories come another row southward in the overnight when we get the updates from the National Weather Service. But nonetheless, I am looking for some snowfall. Definitely. Let's get this model to roll in motion. Sunshine giving way to more clouds tomorrow afternoon. There's the snow, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it will continue overnight and into a Wednesday morning, eventually ending as a little drizzle. But I think primarily this moisture is going to come down in the form of snow. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, have some updates here at 10 and 11 o'clock. Again, the focus or the ideas here, Doug, are that the snow line is coming further southward. So I think a lot of us will see accumulations on the order of a couple inches, a few inches, maybe a little bit more off to the north. I'll have more coming up.
All right. Thank you for that, Anthony. The number of people who